I mean, everything we see is a false reality. It's like Big Brother, The Matrix, whatever you want to call it. While we're watching each other, they're watching us. All the time.
The Boondocks was a rare breed of TV show that didn't shy away from the raw and uncomfortable realities of life within the Black community. When it first aired, it was met with both praise and criticism. Some celebrated the show's blunt honesty and willingness to tackle complex issues head-on. Others labeled it as offensive and too controversial. But despite the pushback, the show found a dedicated following of viewers who appreciated its unflinching approach to the issues affecting the Black community. This show tackled everything from police brutality and systemic racism to drug addiction and Black identity in America. But what set the Boondocks apart from other shows was its willingness to take risks and not sugarcoat the hard truths. All the characters were interesting, but Huey Freeman stood out for his exceptional intellect and his ability to think outside of the box.
Excuse me, everyone, I have a brief announcement to make. Jesus was Black, Ronald Reagan was the devil, and the government is lying about 9/11. Thank you for your time and good night.
Huey was unapologetically himself, challenging societal norms and expectations placed on him and his culture. A problem solver, always looking at things from different angles and perspectives. He didn't just see the trees, he saw the whole forest. Now, intelligence is not just about solving equations or having a high IQ, it's more nuanced than that. And Huey was the type of character who embodied this idea. He was curious, insightful, and not afraid to tackle the most difficult issues head-on.
Vision? What do you know about my vision? My vision would turn your world upside down, tear us under your illusions, and send the sanctuary of your own ignorance crashing down around you. Now ask yourself, are you really ready to see that vision?
His philosophical leanings blended various influential ideas, from Malcolm X to Che Guevara, but his overarching worldview was heavily influenced by Frantz Fanon. The radical political theorist and activist, Huey, like Fanon, believed in self-reliance and self-determination for marginalized groups. He understood the psychological ramifications of oppression on people and advocated for cultural identity and self-expression, and we see this reflected in Huey's deep sense of pride in his African-American heritage.
The government conspires to put a lot of innocent Black men in jail on fallacious charges, but R. Kelly is not one of those men. You a fan of R. Kelly? You want to help R. Kelly? Then get some counseling for R. Kelly.
The Boondocks and its characters, particularly Huey, challenged the status quo and provided a unique perspective on the issues facing the Black community. He is one of those rare breeds that you don't come across too often. A walking encyclopedia, a sponge that absorbs knowledge and spits it back out like it's no big deal. He's got a book in hand at all times, and it's hard not to feel like you're talking to a walking library. But that's just the tip of the iceberg with him. He's also fiercely opinionated and unapologetically authentic. He won't hesitate to call out hypocrisy and injustice when he sees it, and he'll do it with the kind of conviction that leaves no room for debate. A rebel with a cause, a troublemaker with purpose.
The prison industrial complex is a system situated at the intersection of government and private interests. It uses prisons as a solution to social, political, and economic problems. It includes human rights violations, the death penalty, slave labor, policing, courts, the media, political prisoners, and the elimination of dissent.
Of course, being as smart and outspoken as he is, Huey often finds himself at odds with the people around him. His disregard for authority and his unwillingness to conform to societal norms puts him in conflict with his more traditional grandfather, Robert. And he often finds himself dismissed or ignored by adults who think he's too young to understand the world around him, often labeled a domestic terrorist for spilling hard truths and saying things exactly as they are. I think Huey is a character that we can all learn from, not afraid to be himself, to stand up for what he believes in, and to fight for a better world. And honestly, we could all stand to be a little more like him.
Obi-Wan Kenobi said, "Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them." It seems to be getting harder, distinguishing reality from the illusions people make for us, or from the ones we make for ourselves. I don't know. Maybe that's part of the plan, to make me think I'm crazy.